Good morning, Tottenham fans. And Spurs have breezed past Manchester United. Well, that's what I was going to say after about 60 minutes. But then after that, it all went a little bit pear-shaped. There's a lot to talk about, but Spurs better start changing their name to Cortisol Hotspur because they're really starting to stress me out. They do not make it easy for us, do they? They don't want us to have a stroll in the quarterfinals of the Cup. They want us to panic, and that's exactly what I was doing. So loads to talk about. First of all, I want to talk about Jamie Redknapp and Jamie Carragher, the Jamie Dodgers, the Jamie Dodgy punditry, whatever you want to call them, why they were wrong, why Ange needs huge credit for this, why talk about the Forster disaster, talk about the goals, talk about my man of the match and why, and it's not the same man of the match as Sky Sports gave, what I think of our semi-final opponents, and was Sonnys goal a goal? I know we didn't have VAR, but there you go. Never mind. I'll let you know in a minute. So let's start with Jamie Redknapp and Jamie Carragher. So at halftime, we were winning 1-0, as you all know, and they were both saying that it's only a matter of time before Man United open us up because we're too open and it's only a matter of time before, we can't win this way. Playing this way, we can't win this way. It's not going to happen. That's basically what they was leading towards. Not exact words, but that's what they were saying. Second half, Spurs played the same way, didn't change, didn't even make any subs. We can't make any subs anyway. And we went 3-0 up, playing the same way. Then, after 60 minutes, it was Forster made a terrible mistake, trying to pass it to Dragushin while Bruno Fernandes was standing in front of him. So I don't understand that. Very poor mistake. And they got one back, 3-1. You thought, you know what? Now they've got that. You could see Forster nervous as hell. And then only 6 minutes later, he gets the ball. You can see Ahmad running at him a mile away. And he takes about half an hour to kick the ball in any direction at all, but kicks it at Ahmad, and he ends up putting it in the net for 3-2. This was nothing to do with Ange's tactics. Yes, we play around the back. Every team in the Premier League plays from the back now, near enough. It's nothing to do with those tactics. It's to do with poor judgment by the goalkeeper. So when the both Jamies are saying this is all down to tactics, we should shut up shop at 3-0, we shouldn't play this open, it was nothing to do with that. It was poor judgment by the goalkeeper. So bad punditry, in my opinion. It really was. So why Ange deserves huge credit? Well, because he's got half a squad. He's got 10 first teamers out injured. That would affect any team. I'm telling you now. That would affect Arsenal. That would affect Liverpool. It's already affected Manchester City. So to get a 5-0 victory, especially in one half against Southampton with a depleted side, knowing that you're going to be playing 4 days later in very important cup competition, a quarter-final of a cup that we haven't won for many, many years, and he goes and beats a good Man United side, scoring 4 goals in the process, not being able to make any subs that could impact it. All we could bring on was Johnson and Bergvall at the most to try and impact the game, which he brought them nearer to the end. These players need credit because they've been, playing every 3 days. They've got to play again against Liverpool in 3 more days. But we're getting results out of the thinnest squad I have seen for many, many years for Spurs. And he deserves huge credit. He gets a lot of criticism. So, credit where credit is due. And people need to start acknowledging that maybe he is a good manager and he's doing all right. So Forster disaster, I went through that a bit, but I'll just touch on it a little bit more. When you're 3-1 up, he's a 37-year-old, right? He's got all the experience in the world. He's played for England. He's done a lot, yeah? When you're 3-1 up, you've just made a mistake as well to make it 3-1, and you see a striker running at you. You kick it anywhere. It doesn't matter if it goes off for a throw. I don't care. But to wait that long, and you could see that player running at you, I have no words for it. I just don't understand it. But one thing I want to say is Forster, just before those two mistakes, I was just saying as well that how good he has been for us. So I'm not going to jump down his throat because of this. We went through. It doesn't matter if we conceded 3 goals. There's no goal difference in cup competitions. So I'm not going to jump down his throat, but those 2 decisions he made nearly cost us. And I'm a little bit worried that when we play Liverpool on Sunday or in the cup, and they start pressing the goalkeeper, I'm just really hoping Vicario's back for that, because I don't know whether he could handle it. So the goals, first goal was a little play from the corner. Porro had a really powerful shot. Goalie could only parry it, but Solanke was the only one that had the initiative to get the rebound and bang it in for a 1-0 lead. Second half starts. Obviously, the punditry has already said that Man United are going to come back into this game, and Spurs score after about 5 minutes of the second half. And it was Kulusevski that got that goal. So he's now got 4 in 4. And the third goal was all about Jed Spence. Jed Spence outside of the football, straight over to Solanke. Solanke bides his time, cuts inside and bangs it in the corner. That's the sort of goals he was scoring last season. And now he's done it today. And hopefully he starts doing that a lot more, because that will work against the lower block sides. So talking about Jed Spence was my man of the match. He was playing out of position on the left-hand side, but he didn't look like he was out of position. He was running at players any time he got the chance. He wasn't allowing them a second on the ball. He's very fast. He's very athletic. He can run up and down that pitch all day long. He's very skillful. And that pass he put through to Solanke was sublime. And you got to just think as well, he's only played minimal games. He's already got 2 assists and a goal. Can you believe that already? Like, I think every game he's got a goal contribution that he's played so far. He definitely now is fighting for that fullback position. He has to be. So what do I think of our semi-final opponents? Well, the first thing I want to mention about that was the only thing I was worried about was having to play a second leg at Anfield to get into a final of a competition. I did not want that scenario, and now that's the scenario we've got. So, because our first leg we're playing Liverpool and at home, and then the second leg we're playing them away. Not the ideal situation for Spurs, to be honest. But you know, if Liverpool don't take it seriously and they play some of their reserve players, if they play like they did against Southampton in the last round, then we can go toe to toe with them, and I think we can beat them. I really do. There's no reason. Like, we've already knocked Manchester City out. We've already knocked Man United out. We're going to have to knock Liverpool out to win it anyway, because they probably would have got to the final. But then we'd have to play Newcastle and Arsenal, or Arsenal in the final. We can win this competition, but we can't afford to be making silly mistakes like Forster did and letting teams back in. But it's 2-legged. We really need to win the home tie, because the Anfield one is going to be very, very hard. So Sonnys goal, was it a goal? Was it not a goal? Of course it was goal. And yes, he aimed for that. He tried to score that. He wasn't just putting a cross in. I don't know. I'm only mucking about. But he you know, it was a good goal. The goalkeeper tried to claim that Bergvall pulled his arm down so he couldn't punch it out. He wasn't even going with that arm to punch it out. He completely flapped it. He made a mistake, and he knew it was a mistake, and he knew it was stupid. So he tried to blame someone else. But even on the replays, you could see Bergvall did nothing wrong. He just went up for the header and tried to score, and the goalie just flapped it. He didn't realise that the ball was going to go all the way into the net. Lucky Sonny done that, because Man United scored again, and that would have been 3-3, and we probably would have ended up going out. So good old captain Sonny saves us this time. So yeah, so all in all, Kulusevski got man of the match, I think, from Sky Sports. I think it was Jed Spence. There was a shout for Solanke to get man of the match too. Spurs' tactics was not the issue here. Jamie Carragher and Redknapp were very, very wrong. They keep saying you need to adapt. Well, he's got through 3 rounds now by not adapting. He's got this far so far. We're nearly in the knockout stages of the Europa League by playing these tactics. So I like to see them manage a team and see how far they get, because I don't think they'd get very far.